Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Snowbergen here. It's just after 3:30 on a Friday afternoon and evening. Hope you've had a great day so far today. We're here on the Weather Extra on Facebook, YouTube, and Fox Local. Hope things are going good for you and yours. We are now less than 1 week from Christmas, and things are going to fly and zoom on by over the next couple of weeks. Or days, I should say. Days, not weeks. So we are now less than a week away from Christmas, and it's going to go by fast. I hope you've got most of your shopping done. So let me know where you're watching from if you have a question, comment, or a concern. A couple of things to track, and we'll go through all of it for you. But first, just leave the forecast up in case you needed to see it. We're talking about sunshine for the weekend. 70s. Now, the only change for next week is Monday and Tuesday. There could be some clouds and maybe a shower, but that's probably about it. And the reason why is because on Monday and Tuesday next week, we'll have winds that come from the east. And anytime the winds come from the east, especially in winter, you get some clouds and a chance for a sprinkle or a rain shower. It's not going to be a lot, but just a little bit cloudier, a little bit less sun Monday, Tuesday with a passing shower, especially at the East Coast beaches. But Christmas looks great, 77 Christmas Eve, 78 Christmas Day or so, something like that. With lots of sunshine for really the most part of the next week. And it doesn't look like there's a chance of rain, notable rain here, really for a while. And in fact, I don't see any chance of rain to mention for a bit. So that is some good news here in terms of your plans. But, we definitely could use a little bit of rain here. Definitely could use a little bit of rain. We haven't had much rain the last little bit. And we could use it. There's places like Polk County, that are in pretty decent drought and need rain. And it's probably going to be into January until we get a chance of widespread rain back into Central Florida. So that's what we're looking at for the next 7 days. Let me pull up your comments and your questions so I can see what you guys are saying. We're on Facebook and YouTube. That's where you can put your comments and questions in. Hello. Let's see who's watching on here. Let me pull up your comments. A couple of you watching. Let me know where you're watching from. If you have a question, a comment, a concern, hello. So there is the latest 7-day. Don't see anybody checking in yet, and we're also on YouTube. But for today, it is a lovely day out there. And it's going to be a lovely weekend. So here is the forecast for Saturday and for Sunday. Lots of sunshine, comfortable, a little bit lower humidity. Now, the one thing to know about for tomorrow is that there will be a drop in the temperature. We're talking about places like Gainesville and Ocala that could be into the 40s. 41 in Ocala, 45 in the Villages, 40 in Gainesville. And in those places, it'll be quite chilly. And it would not be a surprise if many people are reaching for a jacket or a sweatshirt in Ocala and Gainesville tomorrow morning. So this is commonly the case in winter here, where you get these big spreads in temperature from the coast to inland, especially in winter time. So this is, again, tomorrow morning's lows, 62 in Cocoa Beach, 41 in Ocala. So a 21-degree difference between the Space Coast and Ocala. 56 New Smyrna, 51 Sanford Lake Mary. So again, the further inland you are, the higher the likelihood of needing definitely a jacket or something early in the morning for tomorrow. So that's what we're going to watch for Saturday. Let me know what you're seeing on YouTube, Facebook. I'm trying to pull up your comments here. We're also on Fox Local, and we'll be with you here for the next little bit. Hope everybody's having a great day so far today. Let me see your comments and concerns here. I know there's probably some good questions that are starting to cook in here. Any chance of rain in the next little while? And it doesn't look like it. I don't really see a chance of rain for maybe January 2nd or 3rd from what I can tell, but even that does not look like anything. Even that does not look like anything that's going to be, decent. So it's going to be dry here, pretty dry for a while. But yeah, so that's the deal for tomorrow morning. Now here's the radar today. We'll take a look. Things are dry. There's not really anything to track. This time yesterday we had some decent showers. Today there's not really much to look at. Now the interesting thing about the holidays this year is that you may remember on Halloween we were talking about how chilly it was for trick-or-treaters. Into the evening of Halloween night we were in the 40s everywhere. But here were the highs between Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween this year. These are the comparisons. Halloween officially was 69 this year. Thanksgiving recorded in at 75, and the forecast for Christmas is 77. So the interesting thing here is that Christmas will end up the warmest of the three holidays. Halloween 69, 75 on Thanksgiving, 77 on Christmas. Definitely not often that is the case and happens, but it is going to happen this year, where Christmas is the warmest of the three holidays. So, hey, I'm not complaining. It is fine with me. Now, I will actually be up in New England the end of next week, so sadly I will be freezing like a popsicle the end of next week. But if you will be here and not traveling for Christmas and the holiday, it's going to be oh so nice here towards the end of next week. And we're on the countdown, too, for the year. You know, we're at that point of the year where it's only, 10, 12 days or so, whatever left remaining, and it doesn't look like there's going to be much weather here for a while. So that is one of the last remaining headlines for you. Take a live look outside. It's just a lovely afternoon. The sky is clearing, but that was the other night. That was the Evermore camera. It's the wrong Evermore I pulled up. Let me get the live Evermore camera. So that was 2 nights ago, actually. Here's the live camera. Yeah, as expected, clouds to start, sunshine to finish out there for today. Let's take a look at the SunTrust camera, which would be otherwise known as downtown. And then you can see lots of sunshine. The sky is clearing. We had some big clouds this morning, a little bit of a sprinkle, but most of those clouds are now gone. Let's take a look at Daytona, because we are also, after Christmas, remember, the countdown for Daytona. The 500 is going to be in the news, and we'll be talking about it. It comes fast, y'all. As soon as Christmas is done, we'll be on the count for the 500, which the headline for the 500 this year will be, hope to gosh it doesn't rain, because it's rained most of the last 5 years here now. We've had rain problems 2 years in a row for the 500. So we will hope that after Christmas, once we start getting into January, we start looking at the forecast of the 500 and things are better for this year. And, of course, we'll have all that coverage before, during, and after the 500 on Fox 35. But that'll be the next big event right around the corner. And also, speaking right around the corner, winter officially begins this weekend. The winter solstice would be on the 21st. And that is also our shortest day of the year. The longest day of the year would be the middle of June on the 21st. So tomorrow, or this weekend, I should say, on Sunday, we've got about 10 hours and 20 minutes of daylight. On the solstice for summer, in the middle of June, we average about 13 hours and 58 minutes. So the interesting thing there is that we gain a lot more daylight. About 3 hours and 40 minutes difference between the summer solstice and the winter solstice. So winter officially begins this weekend. It will not be feeling like winter here in Central Florida. But how do you feel about winter starting? Let me know. So let me pull up some of your comments and questions here. Then we're going to hear from Brooks Garner coming up in a second. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing good today. Hope everybody's doing good. What is the big smoky cloud north of Sanford? Now, that was a comment from yesterday, but I did see that again today. I believe that's a prescribed burn that is ongoing, actually. That is not a wildfire, but wildfire season could start soon going into this year. So let me get Brooks queued up, because our friends on Fox Local are seeing a break right now. So let me get this queued up, because I want to hear from Brooks. We have a little story I want to share with you. So if you have a comment or a question, please put it in the feed. Would love to hear from you about what you're seeing. I gotta find where this is. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. I don't see it. Yeah, so one more time, I'm going to show you about what Brooks has said about the winter solstice, because it's actually quite interesting. So while we're on the topic of the winter solstice, a reminder of how it works, a little bit more about it, and I want to toss now and bring in my colleague and friend, meteorologist, Brooks Garner, for more on that.
Well, you've probably heard us talking about how it's wintertime. In the weather world, meteorology, the meteorological start of winter is December 1st, encompassing the 3 most likely months in the northern hemisphere, December, January, February, that we see winter weather. But astronomically, in the official start of winter that you'd see on your calendar, well, that's coming up on Sunday. It's called the winter solstice. So what's the difference? What is all this meteorological versus astronomical winter? Well, it's all about the angle. So here's the sun, and during the winter solstice, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun at more than 23 degrees. Now, that's a lot. That's, up and down is a noticeable thing, right here. And so we're tilted a pretty good amount. And in the sense of the world, that means that not only are we farther away from the sun, but we're also getting less hours of light, fewer hours of light. And so there's less available time to warm things up with those direct solar rays. And so that's what winter is, right? We have shorter days, longer nights, it gets colder, and you get the snow, and you get the snowmen, and you get the blizzards, and you get all the travel woes. But here in Florida, you get the comfortable weather. It's all about the Earth's axis being tilted away from the sun. And this solstice occurs at 10:03 a.m. on December 21st, which is Sunday. After that, the Earth starts tilting back toward the sun again in the northern hemisphere, and we approach summertime, which happens in June, the summer solstice. So it's all about those solstices, and the winter one is the beginning of the season that, of course, it's coldest in the northern hemisphere. So the official start is Sunday at 10:03 a.m., shortest day of the year, and winter will last 88 days, 23 hours, and 42 minutes. But who's counting? It's about 3 months. Anyway, that said, this is where it's kind of interesting, right? Because with the tilt away from the sun, our length of days is shorter, so we have less light. And it's a noticeable thing. It's all about your angle. So during the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, we have 10 hours, 19 minutes, and about 36 seconds of light. That's the longest night you have all year round. Now, the longest day is the summer solstice. That's in June 21st. 13 hours, 57 minutes, 41 seconds. So we're talking about this Sunday, we'll have more than 3.5 hours less light than we do during the summertime. So just think about that, right? 3.5 hours less sunshine. And when you do get the sunshine, it's at a lower angle in the sky, so it's less effective. That's why we can go skiing in the northern hemisphere in the wintertime. It's kind of an interesting thing how it all kind of comes together. And it's all about the solstices. It's all about the angle. So the winter solstice, the official start of winter, when we're tilted farthest from the sun, happens this Sunday. But if you're a fan of the warmer side of the year, starting Monday, our days will get longer. And before you know it, we'll be back to those early sunrises and later sunsets. In Florida, it doesn't mean much. Our weather is nice generally all year round, but at least we catch a break from that unrelenting humidity during the wintertime. So it's a season that a lot of folks down here really look forward to. While up north, winter is a season that a lot of folks kind of dread. All right, back to you.
Cool stuff there from Brooks. Appreciate that on the winter solstice. So one more time, if you missed the forecast, here it is. Lots of sunshine for the weekend. Temperatures into the 70s. Couple of clouds coming in for Monday and Tuesday with maybe a sprinkle, but all in all, things are going to be really good heading into next week. So we're going to take a quick 2-minute break. That'll be right back here with you on Facebook, YouTube, and Fox Local. Stay with us. We'll be right back with much more. right, so we are back there. Hope you've had a great day so far today. I just had this flop on my Christmas sweater because we are doing a Christmas segment coming up on the 407. So make sure you watch us in the 407 for that. But yeah, things are going to be good for Christmas. There's really not much to track in terms of headline making weather for us here over the next 10 to 12 days. So let's take a look at the national radar quick, take a look at what's going on. There's actually quite a bit going on. There's nothing for us here right now, but there's a really strong flow in the jet stream like this across the northern U.S., and that's carrying a lot of systems across the northern tier of the U.S. In fact, if you look here in the northeast, it's really pretty wild. You've got tremendous lake effect snow coming in, just blinding lake effect snow here, all while you have a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds right ahead of it. So really kind of odd, and this is causing massive air travel delays on the tri-state. So if you happen to be flying out of Orlando and you're going to the northeast for the evening, this single severe thunderstorm warning will probably this single warning covering New York City will probably cause hours and hours of national air delays because of the ripple effects from JFK, LaGuardia, in Newark. But there's 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts that have been recorded in this very thin line of storms that's tracking like that to the northeast. So severe thunderstorm warning there you see for essentially all of New York City up into up the Hudson River a little bit into towards not quite Poughkeepsie, but you get the idea there. So definitely some headline making weather there. And you take a look at the wind and the temps. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. You can see the air temperature goes from 49 in Connecticut to 21 in Pittsburgh area to a balmy 4 in the Midwest. There is a huge drop in temperature. Let me show you the feels likes across the country because they are pretty significant right now. Hope you've had a great day and you're going to have a great weekend. Pull up some of your comments here. Got a couple of people checking in on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. But yeah, there's the feels likes right now. So 80 in Orlando, but 10 in Chicago. So there's a 90-degree difference between Orlando and Chicago right now. 12 in Pittsburgh, 3 below in Minneapolis, 40 in Nashville, 80 in Orlando, 44 in Memphis, 39 in Kansas City. So you can clearly see the big push of cold there into the eastern United States right now. And most of that cold, again, is going to be moving east, not really southeast. We'll just get a small, minor taste of it tomorrow morning in areas north of Orlando. But really the core of this cold outbreak will miss us to the north. All right, so that's going to do it for me today on our Fox 35 Weather Plus stream here. I've got to go get ready for a segment in the 407 with Marlisa. It's going to be very fun, which you should always watch, the 407. I got to get the rest of your forecast ready too, and I'll see you with much more coming up at 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11 on that. But I hope you have a great weekend. Great to get out, finish Christmas shopping, decorating, any plans you need. And then again, next week, I'll leave you at the 7-day. Things look really very nice. So I hope you have a great weekend, and Christmas here in Florida is looking fantastic this year. I'll see you coming up tonight on the News Edge with much more on the weather. Have a good night.